you for joining me today. I would like to share with you the top 5 things that I think you can do for better health for yourself with less stress on the animals and less stress on our environment. Before I get into that, though, I want to share with you just a quick little background on me. Years ago, when I went to college, I went off, and if you ever heard of the freshman 10, the freshman 15, well, I came back with the freshman 50, like a lot of people actually, due to processed foods, you're living in the dorm, it's a change in your lifestyle, change in the eating. Well, that being said, years go by, maybe I shed 10 pounds here and there, but for the most part, over the long haul, well, not that long, but over the years, I actually had gained weight. I do have an addictive, compulsive personality, like many people do. So I indulge in life. I ate. I love to eat. I still love to eat. Um, I loved drinking and partying. I work in a bar environment. I definitely, indulge and really, enjoyed everything along those lines. I'm also a shopper. Like I understand the compulsive behavior. Thank God I never got involved with drugs or gambling or any of those things. It just makes it that much more difficult. I'm also not a smoker. Thank God I'm actually a very avid anti-smoker. I think it's actually the number one thing that you can do, the number one thing that you could give up for improved health, no doubt in my mind, is to quit smoking now. So if you want to continue on, keep that in the back of your mind for sure, that you would need to quit smoking. So anyway, I want to talk about the change that I made every year. For New Year's, I make that resolution every year, like everybody else. Health and fitness, health and fitness. Um, what made it different this time, 2010, was that I had been wanting to open up a juice bar. I had a great idea, a different kind of niche for a juice bar. Still love to do that, of course. But I had the idea to go to college, go back to school. I'm enrolled in the American College of Healthcare Science, which I absolutely love. I'm in the Holistic Health Practitioner Program, and I'm almost finished. I've learned so much. It's crazy how much I've learned, and I love it. And it's changed me. It's changed my lifestyle. It's impacted my life fully, and it's things that I want to share with you. I've put together the top 5 things that I think that people could do to become more aware and make simple changes. I mean, you can really change yourself and you can really make an impact on the people around you, and you could help the animals and you could help your environment. And it all starts really with you. It starts with one person, which is great. My mission is reinventing indulgence. That's really my mission. It is really what I've done, because I'm still kind of have that compulsive addictive behavior, but I'm a health nut. So if you're going to be crazy and compassionate and passionate, I mean, about something, it might as well be something healthy. So let's get started. I want to talk about GMOs. I want to talk about lifestyles that can improve the conditions for animals, which would, of course, be a plant-based diet or moving towards one anyway. I want to talk about detox, what you could do to eliminate the toxins in you and eliminate a lot of the poison really that's out there, for no better term, but that's what our food system really has been producing for the most part on a grand scale. So we'll talk mostly about detox and elimination, but then there's also simple things that you could do, like drinking water. The more water you drink, the less you might be indulging in fluids and liquids and beverages that are not the healthiest thing for you. And then exercise. Even the food pyramid, which is kind of always behind the times, finally caught up, and it's pretty much the best I think it's ever been. And it's included steps along the side of the pyramid, because they want to enforce that exercise is critical. I mean, they say 30 minutes a day. Absolutely, 30 minutes a day. It could be a brisk walk, very simple. And then, I know that's 5, but finally we'll just end it with talking about stress, because if you have stress in your life and you don't get past it, like stress that could be manageable or you could reduce it, stress will kill you. It'll kill the healthiest of people. So it's really critical that we take a quick look at that at the end. So GMOs, what's a GMO? Oh my God, if you said to me, Lisa, GMO, blah, 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 3 years ago, I would be like, you're talking UFO to me right now. I have no idea what you mean. What's GMO? But everybody knows what pesticides are because we know that it's in our food. We know that it's in our lawns, and it's basically all around us. They spray. They spray right over our heads, spray pesticides. A buildup of pesticides over time is going to lead us to what we need is detox. We all know there's over 10,000 diseases and conditions that weren't even here at the beginning of the century. I mean, come on, you all know what I'm talking about. You know that this is all for real. So let's take what a GMO is. It's worse than a pesticide. It really is. You take a seed that's created by big biotech companies, which I'm sure have their place in this world, although I wish pesticides and the creation of pesticide seeds wasn't one of them, but they changed the DNA in a lab of the seed so that the seed is resistant against pesticides. So you're changing the DNA of this seed, and then you're throwing it out there to become this plant or fruit, vegetable, whatever we're going to eat, and it becomes resistant to pesticides so that they can spray more pesticides on top of this seed and plant. So we're getting the change in the DNA into our body. We're getting the rising and actual growth of this pesticide-resistant seed in our body, and then we're getting even more pesticides on top of that because they're allowed to spray more, and all of that goes into our system, and then we wonder why allergies and everything else is so rampant today. I'm not asking you to avoid GMOs like the plague because you can't. It's impossible, okay? They're in over 75 to 80% of our processed foods, They're everywhere. They're even in real fruits and vegetables. I mean, it's just crazy. Take corn and soy, for example. Those are the top two. I mean, anybody on my Facebook page will be like, all right, we get it. I talk about corn and soy almost every day. If I go to a restaurant, for example, and I order tofu, I have to be sure, because I am actually vegan, that I eat out a lot and I eat soy a lot, so I have to make sure that I'm not eating genetically modified soy. But I don't expect you to learn all of this overnight, but what I want you to do is just be aware. You will hear articles here and there, although they're not on the top priority because we are behind the times. You could take countries all across Europe, and they're already 5 years ahead of us. Most of them have already banned it, or they have labeling. We don't have labeling, and that's really what I'm going to ask you to do, is to be aware about it and to vote wherever you can to get initiatives on the ballot which ban this process. You should be, labeling should be required. We're not asking for much here. We're asking that it's labeled. The biotech companies know that once it's labeled, many people are not going to eat it because they're going to know that they're so-called frankenfoods. They're been genetically altered at the seed level. Okay, so this is very important, and the reason it's number one on my list is because we're headed towards a society and a food production chain which is going to end up being all genetically modified if we don't put a stop to this. It's our country. This is all over the world, but you know, we're like behind everybody. We need to stand up and just become more aware of the process. Ask questions, ask people, bring it to the topic. When you go to pay for your food, ask if this stuff has genetically modified organism, genetically modified seed in it. You know, I mean, that's something that is your right to know. Right? So that's why it's number one. It's something I feel very passionate about. I do think you could have improved health from eating organic. If you eat organic, one of the main things about organic is that they're not allowed to include genetically modified organisms. So right there, that's a way to get around it. People say, well, why do I need to buy organic? It costs more. Well, in the end, your doctor bills are really going to be what costs more. And you know it. If you've already, been through a lot of this and you're already not feeling good, you already suffer from this, that, and the other thing with conditions, you know that if you try changing your lifestyle and eating healthier and eating organically, that it will make a difference. Ask anybody actually that's done it full scale. The second thing I wanted to talk about is being more conscious. It's about awareness, it's about education, awareness, and raising your conscious level. The animals. We go crazy when it's on the news that somebody is involved with puppy mills or that they're not treating the animals rightly, right? Dogs, cats, we have that love for those particular animals. But what we don't realize is that we are slaying, for lack of a better word, more than, we're slaying millions, probably more than 500 million animals a day. I get that animals people see animals as food for many different reasons, you know, cultural, religious, blah, blah, blah. You know, people have grown up with food in their life, with animals as food in their life. I get that. And there's a certain biodiversity where the land is needed, you know, the animals are needed, and the vegetation is needed, and everything, you know, goes like that. But you think that you're getting your animals from somebody's backyard, and that's really not what it is. And we want, you know, I would like for people around me, people close to me, to be more conscious about the meat that they're choosing. I mean, if you're going to eat meat, you know, I'm not here to change like the world's view on eating meat, but if you're going to eat it, be more conscious about where it comes from. Think about getting grass-fed, and think about getting organic, and think about asking where your meat comes from. I mean, if you knew for 1 second, if you entered a slaughterhouse or you went to any factory farm, trust me when I tell you that you would never eat meat again. Yeah, I'm vegan, but I'm vegan. I became vegan because I changed my eating, and I was educated about all these different things. I was forced into it practically. The more you know, you can't close your eyes. Like I was like, no, 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 no. But you can't close your eyes anymore. You know, once it's all around you, and I have to read it in this book, that book, that book, this DVD, this one, this movie, that movie. I mean, there's so many. Food Inc., Forks Over Knives, Vegucated, like. If you are the future of food, pick up anything. It's at your fingertips. I'm not asking you crazy. I'm not asking you to give up meat. Just be more conscious about it. People tell me they buy organic and they buy grass-fed, but you're lying to me because only 3% of the country eats grass-fed meat. It's more expensive. It's definitely got to taste better. It has got definitely has to be healthier for you. Check it out. That's all I'm asking. I'm asking you to raise your awareness on the GMOs, raise your awareness on the production, the way animals are treated. Animals do not have, there's no animal rights when it comes to farm animals. They're exempt from animal welfare rules and laws. You know, sure, you can move towards a plant-based diet to save the animals, but you're not just saving the animals, you're saving yourself. You're saving yourself because you're saving your health. Can meat be healthy for you? Sure, it's been done back in the times, but you have to remember that back in the day, people also ate. They got their own animals themselves. First of all, they ate those animals when they were fresh, and they also supplemented their diet with fresh nuts and berries. You know, fruits, vegetables, everything around them was fresh and raw, and that's why those diets. You know, I love when people are like, "Oh, but you know, the caveman." Yeah, you're not a caveman. You're not slaying that animal. You go to the supermarket. They don't even have bones in half of these packages anymore. Everything is just handed to you and wrapped nicely in a plate. You have no idea where it comes from and no idea of what's in it. It could be antibiotics. Could be hormones. It could be steroids. There could be so many things. Animals aren't even fed what they're supposed to be fed anymore. Do you know what beef are fed? Cattle? They're fed genetically modified corn. So you might be trying to improve your diet on one side, but you're going to get it from eating something else on the other side. So, you know, just be more conscious of it is all I'm asking. And then move along towards a plant-based diet if you choose to. The pescatarian diet, you know, includes fish. Fish is very good for you. You know, I'm not here today to talk about being vegan. That'll be a whole nother video. But basically, I do feel fish is healthy and good for you. If you do choose a vegetarian lifestyle, you know, you go with a vegetarian lifestyle. They still eat cheese and yogurt and milk products and things like that. Again, I'll save all my comments on milk for another video. Basically, the vegan lifestyle, which I've done. I actually am writing a daily blog about being vegan because I think I'm just coming up upon 4 months now where I could say that this is the longest I've ever been vegan. I've tried to be vegan many times in my life. I think years back, I was vegan for like 2 weeks, back maybe 10 years ago. And I was the bitchiest person in the world. During those 2 weeks, I really couldn't make it. I felt like I was going to kill somebody. It was just really, really difficult. But it doesn't have to be difficult. When you do a lifestyle change and you eliminate certain foods from your diet, you open up new doors. You've got to close the doors to open up new doors. If you're still eating, you know, pasta and white bread and white rice and all those things, then it's hard to look for alternatives. You have to really force yourself into it. It's really that simple. And that's the number 3 thing that I wanted to talk about today was detox. What you can do to get started. You know, it's all about what controls you. What controls you the most? You know, if people ask me my advice, I say, well, what controls you? Because everybody's different. For me, it was pasta. I was a pastaholic. I admit it. I was a pastaholic. I had to give up what I did, my first New Year's resolution that actually worked. I gave up white rice, white bread, and white pasta. And I said, I'm going to give up alcohol for a little while. 2.5 years later, over 50 pounds lighter, much, much healthier, much more energy, new passion and drive for life and everything around me, really. My entire lifestyle has changed. And that's what it really takes, is it takes people entering a lifestyle change. So what can you eliminate to get started? You could eliminate those whites, like I told you, the white bread, the white rice, the white pasta, and go for different grains. You could eliminate, or at least be aware of the sugar that's in all of your food. You could check out, probably sugar is usually the first ingredient, and there's 30 different names to 50 probably at least of sugar. High fructose corn syrup is another one right there, neck and neck with sugar, that you have to really, really look out for. Soda. Soda should be illegal, but you know, again, that's another video. Whether the soda is sugar-free or not, it's pick your poison. You know, they add salt to sugar so that you get thirstier, and then they cover it with sugar. I mean, it's a salt-sugar mess versus a artificial sweetener mess. You know, what do they put in the diet sodas? My mother always said, moderation, everything in moderation. If you're a moderate person, great. You probably not even need to watch my video then. This is for those that would like to reinvent indulgence. I would have to say also, if you're controlled by alcohol or cigarettes or drugs, you know, those gotta go. They have to go first. Before you could change your lifestyle, you could be the healthiest person you want, but if you smoke, you're really just stressing your body, and sooner or later it's gonna take its toll, you know? So look at what's controlling you and start to think about eliminating it. Those are the things I think that can help you get started. It's a pretty good list there. Number 4 is drinking water. I know there's so many people that really hardly ever drink water, and others do, and you know, that's really good. Especially if you're an athlete, or you know, you run around outside, you're very active, you have to replenish yourself with that water. They say take half of your body weight in ounces. So if I'm 120 pounds, that would mean 60 ounces of water. That's like 4 pints. You know, I used to put down 4 pints of beer easily, except I was more of a vodka drinker. But you know what I'm saying is that when you're too busy drinking alcohol or drinking soda or drinking coffee, you really don't find the time to drink that water. And when you do all of those things, you need twice as much water, which is crazy. I mean, it's a lot of water to drink, but your body needs it. You're stressing out your body when you do all of those things, and you need more vitamins, and you need more minerals, and you have more of a need to actually eat healthy. And people might say, well, if I eliminate all those things, what should I be eating? You could think about vegetables at every meal to help alkaline the body. Our bodies are basically too acidic these days. You know, that's why you create an acidic condition in your body, and that's the beginning of many diseases. So you want to more alkalize the body, so you have to eat vegetables all the time. Vegetables, juicing, fruits, nuts, seeds, berries, lean proteins of your choice, sprouts, you know, all of those things will help you in the right direction. Fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, legumes, beans, lean protein, sprouts, okay? The last thing that I want to talk about, number 5, is exercise. You could be really healthy, eat really healthy, and not exercise, and you will have issues. You could do exercise without eating healthy, and you're going to have issues as well. So it's best to really be balanced. Really think in your head about exercising every day. Once you get started, you know, it could be walking. I'm going to walk every day for 30 minutes. It could be really something as simple as that. It could be sports. It could be getting involved. Any of those things. But let me tell you something. Once you change any of these things, towards education, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that I left with you today, it takes some time, but once you catch that fever, you'll be uncontrollable. You won't be able to be stopped, and you'll be able to share that passion with all the people around you. Okay, so that's what I wanted to talk to you today about, the top 5 things that you could do for your health. You know, be more aware about the GMOs. Be more aware about how we treat animals and where your meat comes from. Detox, eliminate. You know, look at what's controlling you and let it go. Turn around and eat healthier things. Look for your fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, legumes, beans, sprouts, lean proteins. Drink more water and exercise. Exercise is essential. You need it. It could be yoga. It could be walking. It could be swimming. Like I said, sports, any of those things. And remember, less stress is needed in everybody's life. We live in a overwhelming, overexcited world with all the internet and overstimulation. And, you know, also each person has different kinds of stress in their own individual lives. Some of them, you know, are unavoidable, and we have to get through that. And then some of them really we bring upon ourselves. So you have to take whatever it is to become more spiritual, more religious. Whatever you choose, yoga, exercise, all of those things will help live a less stressed life. Because again, you could be the healthiest person in the world, but if you have stress in your life, it'll catch up with you. All these things will. I thank you so much for joining me today. I hope I didn't overwhelm you with, the animals. I really, do have a passion for them, which came through me wanting to be a healthier person. Again, thank you. And those are the top 5 things. I hope you can make a difference for yourself and people around you. Thank you.